All right, I'll start.
What's going
Welcome,
on, guys?
welcome.
We are here with an episode of Big Mike and Little Ant, and this is a spoiler discussion for Tomorrow Man. It came out 2 weeks ago now, so we want to let you guys see it, but we're about to spoil the hell out of it. So what's going on, Mike?
It's Tomorrow War, you said, by the way, and you said Tomorrow Man, but it's all right. Tomorrow War. That's a good movie title, though, Tomorrow Man, actually. But yeah, man, I'm good, man. Actually, really want to get into this movie and just talk about it and spoil it, just to add more stuff to our channel. And real quick, before you, when you watch this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And also put out early, we'll be doing a Loki spoil discussion on Sunday for episodes 5 and 6. Want to put that out early, live. All right, so let's go. Tomorrow War. Get into it.
Definitely. So, guys, we're spoiling this thing. Starts right now. Personally, Mike, I liked it a lot, man. I liked it a lot. Reason why I liked it a lot is I'm into sci-fi. I'm into aliens. The aliens looked cool as hell, and it was also one of those movies that seemed like it could have ended a couple times. Like you thought it ended, but then it was more. You thought it ended, and then it was more. But it was a good piece between each time it could have ended, to add on a little more, where some movies are like, damn, they could have ended it like 3 times, but where they go extended too long. I was really into that.
I liked it a lot. I did think it was a little longer than it needed to be, kind of like you saying, a little bit like that. Oh, but I did like it a lot altogether. Now there are a bunch of plot holes in this movie, but I did still, I was very entertained overall. And it's one, with the whole scope of it and the aliens, like you said, and the action, it would have been great in theaters. I wish it was a theater movie than an Amazon movie, honestly.
Yeah, so. This would have, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have pulled this off in theaters.
Yeah, and just the whole, the visual of it looks like it would have been great in theaters too. So
yeah. And the creatures looked cool, man.
Yeah, it was different, especially the white. I thought that was pretty dope to choose white on that situation. I thought their little spikes they shoot out, I thought that was a different thing. And they were so fast and fierce and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty, I thought it was pretty dope on that as well.
So besides the creatures, right? Obviously, that's the end all be all. What was your thoughts of this being where they had to go in their future selves came?
Well, let's talk about the plot. Yeah, well, let's talk about the plot. The plot is obviously Tomorrow War, just like it sounds. So there a bunch of soldiers from the future go 30 years to the past to recruit people to go help them in the future fight this war versus the aliens. At some point, the military is overwhelmed, so instead of using soldiers, they have to recruit regular, everyday citizens to go and help fight in this war in the future, 30 years in the future. Now, how it goes is that your tour is only 7 days. So you go for 7 days, and then you automatically get shipped back. So that's the plot. What'd you think of that yourself?
I thought it was interesting because what I liked was when they said they realized that they were sending you at only the young people was there because they were saying in the future, they wasn't born yet,
right?
Or that's how they said it, right?
Right. So they couldn't see their past selves because they weren't born yet, right. And then they sent older people there because they would have died already by the time the war started. So that would have been, instead of sending younger people there.
They're sending you there because you wasn't alive when they sending you.
That's crazy, that is crazy. But what's crazy about that is we'll get to that later, but to come back, but still knowing that you're going to die maybe in 5 years because they told you that already, is crazy to know too, right? Whatever. So
right.
Yeah, like that one guy who was going to die in 6 months. I get his point. Like, I'm going to die anywhere from cancer. I might as well go fight these wars regardless, stuff like that. So yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought, let me get into it. I thought the acting was great in this movie. Like I said, I like the story, and I like the entertainment. I love that overall. What I didn't like, though, I like the guy, but the black guy, the comic relief guy who made all the jokes and stuff like that. I thought that some of his jokes were off-timed, or some of his comedy, it was like serious moments or should be terrifying moments. He was making jokes. I didn't like that at all. So
right.
I just thought that, I think they try to put like an MCU, MCU try to like add jokes or whatever like that. But I felt like theirs weren't timed correctly or something like that, in my opinion. So
no, I could definitely see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it almost felt he was such a coward. They played it up that he was so much of a coward, but he was in some situations where he was shooting with the best of them. I almost felt like his character was just a little off, right?
Yeah.
Like running and screaming, but they had moments where he was like, you know, shooting it up.
And then when they got back, and he says, "I hid the whole time," but they didn't show us that. So it's like you only showed us him shooting, but then you tell us he hid or whatever. So it's like you should have showed us that too to show if he was really a coward like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but how'd you feel about the twist of the daughter? I want to ask you about.
Yeah, that was what I was getting to. How cool was it that his commander was his daughter? It's like, oh, and back then in the regular time, his present day time, his daughter is only 9 years old.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. All right, here's what I don't like. I don't like that she did say that, you know, all of a sudden he changed, that he wound up leaving her mother, and then you know, he was kind of like abandoned, and then, you know, he died. Like they said he was going to die 7 years later, but I don't like that. Why did he leave, or why did he change? Even like, that's the part I don't get, because his character, like he said,
his character and the little bit they show of his interactions with his wife, you just don't see that.
Right. I didn't see it. And he never said, like, I mean, I get he died. We knew that was going to happen, but why did he leave? We never actually showed that part or let us know or whatever. So I don't like that.
That didn't add up with his character.
No, and whatnot.
And it was like, well, you're wondering, like, oh wow, I died. What happened to me? And then, well, you and mom didn't work out, and you left us. Like, wait, what? The guy that you're not painting the right character to end up doing that.
No, not at all. So, but again, these are little nitpicks. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. But I gotta spoil it because I gotta tell, you know, everything that I liked and disliked. But the fact that it was his daughter was great. I like that she became a scientist like she was as a little girl, like in science. And she was kind of a badass too. So I thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. How'd you like the queen alien though?
Yeah, dude, I was into the whole alien thing. It was all the thing I can say is the alien was a terrible shot.
Yeah.
Like, I get it that they swing their tails and shoot spikes out, but they wasn't hitting nothing. Like they like there was a lot. I'm like, oh, you just got people running by. They ain't even getting shot. Like,
yeah, and I like the fact that they kind of play both sides too. Like they show if that was happening in real life, like it would probably be anarchy in the streets in the present time.
Yeah,
thinking that you might have to get drafted to a future war.
Yeah, it's like we always say, like if you found out the world was going to end, like why be all cool, right?
Right.
Like society would crumble.
It will crumble. Yeah, it's crazy. And I think, like they said, they never told them what they were fighting against. I think that made it worse. I think they said they didn't tell them because they didn't want them to get scared. But I think not telling them, you make a bigger fear and whatnot. So, and I'm surprised everybody who went there didn't come back and say, no, it's aliens. Like they didn't tell them what it looked like or whatever like that. Like that's crazy to me too. My other plot holes though, not even plot hole. My problem. Bro, you're 30 years in the future. You got a whole time machine, but you're still using regular automatic weapons. That bothered me. Like, they should have better weapons 30 years into the future. How do they have the same bullets?
Well, I felt like, I wonder about that. So I feel like the weapon should be more powerful, but there was times when they were shooting and it was just like a big spray. Like, I couldn't tell. It didn't look like a regular gun just shooting straight bullets. It was like a weird. So I felt like their guns was a little bit advanced, but not that effective. I don't know.
I just felt like it was the same to me, and even when you look at the Air Force when they did do the shot, it looked the same type of Air Force we got now. I'm like, y'all ain't got no better planes in 30 years or nothing. I would think 30. The way technology moves, as you know, I would think we would have in 30 years we would have something a little bit better, in my opinion.
I didn't get why. So 30 years later, y'all just shooting guns at it. How come everybody doesn't have a grenade launcher or something?
Something, and that's my other problem. Yeah. I want to go all the way to the end, but I'll come back to the middle. When they finally got to the mother's ship, they had the serum to poison them. However, they wound up using C4 to blow up the damn plane. It could have been using C4. I'm like, yo, if that would kill them, they could have been doing that. So that bothered me too, actually. So I'm like, are the aliens on the ship actually dead? Because all they did was use C4. But I'm like, they got bombs everywhere. Like, I don't understand that part. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, no, I mean it was definitely alive inside of them cocoon things, but
yeah, but then they said we're gonna blow up the whole ship. Remember the guy was like, I'm gonna die how I want to die. So they thought they killed them all with the blowing them up. But I'm like, if blowing them up does it, then why we ain't been blowing them up a long time ago? I don't understand this part or whatever. But I get you got to kill the mother one with the serum, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe let me go backwards though. So I did like action scenes. So when they went and got the mother or the woman or whatever you call her, that scene was dope. Inside the cave and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool. I am surprised they didn't have a what do they call that? A sedator already. You know, at that point they sedated her later, right inside the little facility. But I'm surprised they didn't have like little darts or something like that there. I do for elephants or something like that. But whatever. But they did capture her, and when they captured her, right, they said that she needed to get sedated every hour, but nobody had a timer, so it was like she woke up. Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, honestly, that was pretty bad because you would figure, as menacing as this thing is, you would have been on top of her being sedated.
Right.
Like, that would have been the one thing in the whole movie you wouldn't have fell short of.
No, I would have had somebody there at 55 minutes, like, bro. Give it that sedation or something like that. Like, I don't understand. And then just like she woke up. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But I'm paused there. You want to go set her up and come back? Because it's 7:57.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, we got Josh is in the building. What's up, Josh?
What's good, Josh? Talking about Tomorrow War right now. Have you seen it?
Yeah, he wrote Pratt, so he's seen it.
Oh.
I don't know if he's seen it, but
okay. Well, we'll see if he's seen it or whatever.
Yeah,
Anthony's got to go set.
I mean, this is live, so it's not like I could really pause it, but
how long will it take you?
Let me just go set her up.
All right, I'll keep talking.
You know what? She could go like 5 minutes late.
All right, cool. All right, so because this ain't gonna be too much longer. So after they get her, that's when the daughter does tell him, of course, you know, that he left and stuff like that. They do create a bond. They go to the ship to create the serum, and then once they create it, that's when everything breaks loose. All the men are coming to get the woman, alien, and it's just crazy. And it's the boat, the action scene. It's like a Michael Bay movie. The action in this movie, I thought it was great.
So epic with them running, and they had to try to get to the actual machine so they could teleport him back.
Yeah, I thought that was dope. Now, I get it's his daughter who he just met, whatever. But at some point, bro, it doesn't matter. She's going to die regardless. You got to get back to the past.
I'm with you. I felt like his feelings for his daughter in the future was way too invested.
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like, bro, it's in the future. They're done pretty much. Like,
right. And you know her for a week.
You can't save her because she can't go back.
Right. Exactly.
Anyways.
Right, but you got the serum to try to save the future, so you got to get back to the past. And that last part, I was happy that he got transformed back. When he jumped off the damn boat to try to save her with no way to save her, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Or whatever like that. I was like, yo, she's bleeding out and she's falling into an ocean full of aliens. What are you gonna do at this point? Unless you got an Iron Man suit.
He was trying to catch her.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you gonna do? Unless you got an Iron Man suit, you ain't got nothing to do at this point, or whatever like that.
Right.
All right, so the third act we'll get into real quick. So the third act is when he does get back home. And so his wife, of all people, they got 98 scientists, but his wife figures out that the aliens had to be here already. And that's why we couldn't figure out where they landed the ship at or whatever like that. I'm not going to lie, that bothered me too. Or whatever like that. But I understand it's a movie. And then you get the team back together. So the guy who wanted to die, who has cancer, he's got the first of all, that's another thing. He's the only person who's been there who's got a souvenir to go back and analyze it. That's crazy too. Whatever. But the other guy, the comedy guy, he finds out it's from a volcano, and they use the kid at the school to find out. I like the whole explanation. Like, I'm a science guy too, so to hear that they came at some point, and then they got buried by the ice, and they were just yeah, I thought that was pretty dope and whatnot. Then they used the buff dad, to go old man, to go that's gonna be you, a buff old man, to use his plan to go get him out of there. I thought that was very, very good. And that last scene was good. And then you got the fight between the alien mother and him and his dad. How you like that part?
Yeah.
How'd you like it though?
Pretty cool. I thought the only thing I thought was weird was the comedy guy was way back at the ship, and all of a sudden he showed up at the end. I was like, how the hell did he get
there? Yeah, I could have said that. But he did have
one of the
he did get his one action scene though. He did use the assault to kill the alien. He did get his one scene though. So that was pretty cool. But y'all know how he got there.
So that's what I like. I like that it could have ended when they came back from the future with the stuff.
Right.
Then it could have ended when they went to the ship, but then it could have then it ended when they actually had the big fight. So I thought that was cool because you could have wrote in 3 different endings, but it kept going on. And it didn't take that long between each. So I thought that
it never felt long at all. I can say that it didn't feel long at all. It felt like it was good pacing in the movie. Like I said, the story was new, and I liked the story. I thought it was very entertaining. The action was good. The cinematography, like the way it looked, was good. Some of the scenes in the snow, I didn't like as much because I couldn't see what was going on a lot of times. So I thought that kind of bothered me a bit. But besides that, I thought it was really, really good overall. And just to let you know, before we end this stream, that they already have greenlit a sequel for this, Tomorrow War 2. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they're going to go with this. I think that they explore those pilots, right? Remember they said the pilots of the aliens were also aliens, but not the same as those other aliens and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. And they were like, where were they going? Were they even coming for Earth? Were they cargo? Right. Like nobody knows even what their point was. And remember, this would have happened 1,000 years ago. So I think it'll be dope to kind of explore that, with Chris Pratt also. But I do want to know, is his death date still the same? Because remember, he's going to die in 7 years of a car accident. So does that still happen? Or now he knows that? He's like never getting car. I would never.
Well, no. They have to change.
Right? It would have
to change because now if you know the way you were going to die, you wouldn't do it the same way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If they told me I would die in a car accident in 7 years, I would never get in a car again in my life. Like I would be walking my ass off.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm sure in that universe, I would love them to explore that. But yeah, it was
let's go. Let's rate it before you get out of here, bro. What would you give it?
Okay.
What would you give it?
I enjoyed it, man. I give it an 8. It gets an 8 for me.
You know what? I gave Widow a 7.5. This was more entertaining than Black Widow, so I'm going to go 8. Whereas you, same thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, like I said, small plot holes, but very entertaining.
Sci-fi, the aliens was cool. I like the whole. It could have ended 3 different times. So for me, it gets a solid 8. Man.
You know what? Movies at home don't tend to keep my attention as much as in the theaters or whatever, and I have to normally like stop and come back, whatever. But this one, it kept my attention throughout, and I like that. So definitely a solid 8 for me as well, and whatnot. So that's it, man. Just a quick little spoiler review from Big Mike and Little Ant channel. We'll be back, like I said, this week for Loki episode 5 and 6 we got a special guest, Dave, Josh, Chloe, Stadia Pro coming right on it too.
Yeah.
So it should be a big show on Sunday, 11:30 a.m. For that, anything else, Ant?
That's pretty much it. Man, we got so much stuff. We got so many movies we're watching. So guys, we got a lot of content coming.
We do. We may actually get the Black Widow spoiler in this weekend too. We're going to figure out a time for that as well. But for that, I'm Big Mike.
I'm Little Ant.
Out.